Hello and welcome to Golgotia University e-learning platform. I am Mehak Pandit, Assistant Professor with Department of Mass Communication, and I'm also the course coordinator for the subject Event Management. Really knowing a target market is the foundation of getting people to your event. And most of the event managers or organizers, frequently call up, or at the end when it's the last moment, they usually panic. The reason being that a successful pre-planning approach was applied to the event, but the kind of expectations for maybe the sale of tickets or the footfall was not up to the mark. The answer to all those solutions is the correct marketing research. So in today's video lecture, we'll be learning about how to conduct a successful marketing research. Let us begin. So having said that, I think all the event management organizations and client for that matter should firstly identify their target audience, and then finally they should look for or work for passionate marketplace wherein whenever they announce an event, the chances of footfall or the participation of people is essentially high. So as I have just told you, the importance of conducting marketing research and how should our first step should be about finding the passionate marketing place so that your event gets successful. So let us firstly learn that how to conduct the marketing analysis. So market analysis is basically a quantitative and qualitative assessment of any kind of market depending upon the kind of event that you're planning to organize or the kind of audience you want to include in your event. And if it's a generic event, then of course the chances of footfall of course is essentially high, but the success level post the event is more in specific target audience event, right? So that's what we have discussed in my previous video lectures. So of course the market assessment, which includes, like I've told you, the quantitative and qualitative assessment, they help us examine the size of market, the various segments of market, and then how customers buy or decide or take decision of if they want to buy or use your particular product or service, and what kind of motivation lies behind that. Then the competition, of course, studying the competition is another very essential thing before you eventually plan your product or service, or you endorse them, or you plan an event. So of course studying the competition is also very important, and the economic environment of the people, right, which includes a lot of things that I'm going to discuss in detail in the future slides. So which makes the market analysis very important. So after identifying your market size, the decision-making process of your potential customers, the next important thing that I discussed in the previous slide was competitors analysis. So in this slide, I'm going to talk about the competitors analysis in detail. Firstly, competitor analysis means finding information about your competitors. No matter if it's a cosmetic brand, then of course like K-Beauty is the competitor of Maybelline, or Mac is the competitor of any random brand. And if it's a potentially a car service or a car brand, then maybe BMW and Suzuki and Honda City and all of that are competitors to each other. So likewise, you extract the information, you find out who are your competitors. That's the first thing, because for example, Mac is a very high-end brand, so of course its competitor would be Sephora and not Maybelline. Maybelline is a drugstore brand, so its competitor would potentially be maybe L'Oreal, right? Because it is not a high-class brand. So firstly, you need to identify on the basis of your target audience that who are your competitors, their age, their sex, their qualification, their knowledge level. Now knowledge level is also very important in terms of the customers and the competitors at both the level, because knowledge level help us decide the kind of advertisement or approach we need to invest in a particular event or marketing strategy. Then comes the experience in organizing events, then turnover, market value, then of course the kind of PR they use, media and corporate contacts they have, and potentially if you are new in market, then of course you need to work more hard, and if you already have a brand image, then of course it comparatively becomes easier for you to set yourself in the market. The next important thing is you find out how they promote or execute their events, and what did they do in their particular events. What is their agenda, what is their theme, or what is their goal and mission for organizing any kind of event, or why people come to their event. So what's so special, what's their USP that people tend to attend their events. So for this you'll have to attend each and every event organized by the competitors. So that's the first thing and very important thing that you potentially need to do, right, before you get into the market, or before you want to announce yourself as their competitors. You need to do that, and then you create an event report on the basis of which you will see that what kind of activities they planned, what kind of experience they gave to people, why people enjoyed their event, or what kind of things that were offered to them during the event. And so that all will be included in the event report, right? So event report will contain things like the sitting and lighting arrangement, how was that, the promotional material that used, maybe leaflets, brochures, if they have any collaborations or sponsorship, of course you will look at that prospects as well as. Then the blueprint of the whole venue, how it was set up, then the program and food menu, then contact details like I've told you of the sponsors, partners, client for whom the event was organized, then the service providers. Of course it becomes chic, of course, because usually now so we have a lot of market, so we don't need to have the exact same DJs or anchors, but yeah, but we need to know the level for which we need to know the DJ, the anchors, artists, performers, videographers, decorators, everything. So find out as much information as you can extract out by visiting the event, or by your team member who attempted to visit the event, so that they could understand. So we must extract all the possible information. So this complete process of extracting all the information about your competitors is called the competitor analysis. And as you can see on my screen, I have used two very beautiful pictures to make this understanding more easy. Likewise, suppose there is a team A which is on ladder, blue ladder, which is of course, and the person standing on this ladder is comparatively on the higher level, or you can say is already established brand, and some new brand which is at the lowest level of the ladder, has a lens in their hand, and they are trying to analyze their competitors so that they could potentially reach that level in the market, right? So that's about your competitors analysis. So now this diagram also will help you explain that how you do the competitor analysis. I have extracted 7 steps. The first is finding on the competitors, then analyzing like I've already told you, then the market and positioning analysis, then the analyze of the competitors, social media activity. All of things that I have already discussed in the previous slide have been put up in the form of diagram. So of course potentially this will also help you. So the 5th is the review analysis, then 6th is the find improvement, right, wherever you could, and 7th is the conclusion part, wherein you decide that what different you could offer to the same audience, or maybe if you have potential talent of converting the generic audience into a specific audience for your own brand or service, then of course you can use those. So now comes the SWOT analysis. Of course, it is a very, very popular way, a popular method. So if you are organizing a corporate event, then it is necessary for you as the event management team to do research of the product and services promoted and sold by your corporate client. So that process of analyzing is called, of course, SWOT analysis. So what you try to find is you find out how the company promotes its product. Like, of course, you do the competitors analysis. So being an event management organization, you need to do that for your client as well, right? So find out how the company promote their products so that you could identify the gaps in their promotional activity that you can eventually work on. Then how the company wants to be built, the kind of image or the idea or the goal and mission they have, with them. You enhance the image associated associated with its product. Of course, that's the purpose, that is why you are appointed for, right? So these are the things. And what is the market value, what is the market share of your client's company and their product, and who are the customers of the product, then what are the features of the product they want you to promote, if there is there any additional feature or a new feature launch that you could highlight in your particular marketing strategy, or what are the advantages and disadvantages of the product in comparison to, of course, the competitors market, right? So if it's a similar product or a similar range of product, then you have to identify that with your competitors also, because that's how potentially the event management team would decide their communication marketing strategy or event strategy for their event, right? So all this research will ultimately, like I've told you, will help you later in making an effective promotional planning campaign for your corporate event, and it's a strategic planning tool, right? In the previous video lectures, I've talked in detail about strategic planning, so I would not discuss about that for now, because you already know that. And in case you have not seen that video, then please pause and go back to my previous video lecture so that you can build an understanding. Yeah, so it is basically a strategic planning tool which is used to identify and analyze the strength, weakness, opportunities and threats involved in the project. So herein comes the SWOT analysis, which could be done by your organization. So SWOT is SWOT, wherein S stands for strength, W stands for weakness, O stands for opportunities, and T stands for threat, right? So basically, strength as an attribute, these are the attributes of your project organization which are helpful in achieving projects objectives. For example, the experienced event team, high motivational level, excellent PR, good market share, etc. Now weakness, of course, these are those attributes of your project organization, of your client, which are harmful in achieving the project's objective. For example, social loafing, maybe lack of funds, inexperienced event team, or maybe low energy level, lack of media and corporate contacts, etc. Then comes the opportunities. Opportunities include all those external factors, which are helpful in achieving the project's objective. For example, little competition, favorable economic condition, support from the local authorities, availability of the state of art, infrastructure, etc. And then T, of course, for threats. These are those external factors which are harmful in achieving the project's objectives. For example, high competition, little or no support for the local authorities, poor weather condition, infrastructure, high lab rate, unavailability of raw material, right? So these are the factors. So S, of course, strength means positive things. W for weakness means these are weakness, but of course are not threat. Then O are for opportunities which could be converted into strength, and T for threat is something which can't be worked on, and of course is a very negative point, right? So that's how you integrate the meaning with them. So basically, SWOT analysis before the planning or developing the event plan help us develop a strategy which maximizes the potential of the strengths and opportunities of your project, and at the same time minimizes the impact of weakness and threats for building better communication and strategy plan for your audience. So now that you know how to conduct the marketing research, the need of marketing research, the need of doing the market analysis, competitors analysis, how to do competitors analysis, and of course SWOT analysis. So on this slide you can see all of the references or suggested readings that will help you develop more conceptual understanding for the concept of marketing research. So I hope this video lecture was helpful to you. In the further video lectures, I'll be talking more about other topics related to the event management. And in case you have any query related to today's lecture, you could always contact me on my mentioned email ID and mobile number. Till then, take care.